Hey everyone, this is Lindy from Love Create Celebrate, and I'm really excited today. I have an awesome DIY for you. Welcome back to our channel where we share awesome DIY and home renovation projects. Today I'm sharing a DIY that's really appropriate as we're going into fall and winter, and I think you're really gonna like it. If you've been following my blog or Instagram page, you've probably noticed a couple items that migrate between rooms. That's because I just don't have enough of it and I use it in different rooms. Exhibit A is my blanket ladder. You can see it in my living room posts and you can see it in my bathroom posts. That's because I strategically move it back and forth because I think it looks great in both spaces. But I figured it was time to get a new one because I'm going to be photographing a lot of both of them as we get into fall and winter. So in typical Love Create Celebrate fashion, I decided to make my own and I love the end results. And I really think you're all going to like it. Plus, there's no power tools involved and it's super easy to make. Okay. Well, I did use a power tool, but you really don't have to. I will show you an easier way to do it than what I did if you don't have the specific tool. So let me show you how easy it is to make your own blanket ladder.
As with most of my DIY projects, I started out with a sketch in one of my random notebooks. I'll link all of the materials you need in the description below, but for my design, I needed 6 copper tees, 4 copper elbows, and just under 18 feet of copper pipe. If you want to save a little bit of money on the project, you could also use wooden dowels instead of copper pipe. You'll also need a 2-part epoxy glue, and I'll link to the one I use in the description below. Our first step in this project is to cut all of the copper pipe pieces. I put a cut list at the side here, but I cut 4 12-inch pieces and 8 20-inch pieces. I'm using a cordless copper tubing cutter, but you can buy much cheaper cutters for only like $20, and I'll show you how easy those are to use. So this is a clip from a different copper pipe project I used, so it's using a different measurement, but I wanted to show you how to use this tool because it's more affordable and easier to use. I start by marking all of my measurements with a Sharpie. The Sharpies won't rub away, and they'll always get covered by the copper pipe fittings when you're putting the ladder together. The next step is to grab whatever pipe cutting tool you're using. You'll be able to see a blade on the inside of the tool, and you want to line up that blade with the black Sharpie mark that you drew onto your pipe. Once you've got it lined up correctly, you can start tightening your tool, which will tighten the blade against the copper pipe, which is what will cut it eventually. For this tool, I had to continuously tighten and turn the tool around, and that's how it cut the pipe. There's other versions for only $20 that you can just clamp onto your pipe and twist until it breaks apart. Those tools are even easier to use and they will gradually tighten on their own. And I'll link to all of these tools in the description so that they're easy to find for you. Once you have one piece of 12-inch or 20-inch copper pipe, you can then use that piece as a reference for where to cut all of your additional pieces. Once you have 4 12-inch pieces and 8 20-inch pieces cut, you can move on to assembling your ladder. I started by laying out all of my copper pipe pieces in the shape of the ladder. So all of the middle rungs were 20-inch pieces, and then at the sides I had 2 12-inch ones across from each other, then 2 20-inch ones across from each other, then 2 12-inch, and then 2 20-inch. If you're not sure about the layout, you can go back to the diagram at the beginning of this video, or you can visit the blog post listed in the description. Once I had everything laid out and I knew that all the pieces were correct, I put down some cardboard because I knew I'd be gluing next, and I definitely didn't want to get any glue on my nice carpet. So I typically use a 2-part epoxy glue, just like the one shown for projects like this. I find the epoxy to be the best glue to hold all the copper together and keep everything strong and sturdy. Plus, it dries in just 5 minutes, so it's super quick to work with. Once the tube was open, I just squirted the 2 parts together into use the container that it came into, and then I use a wooden dowel to mix the 2 parts of the epoxy together and form the glue. I also use that wooden dowel to put the glue into all of my copper pipe pieces. The dowel is just the right size to fit inside all of the elbows and T's of copper pipe. So I just spread it along the edge, and then I put the copper pipe inside, making sure that everything is tight and flat. I started at one end of the ladder, building up the ladder as I went by adding new fittings and pipes as appropriate, and always making sure that the ladder was flat as I was adding new pieces. Once everything was glued and in place, I made sure to pull the ladder tight on both sides, just stretching my arms between the entire ladder before the glue had set, just in case there was any spots that weren't perfectly tightened. Now, if you like the look of copper, you could just protect the copper here with a clear coat and leave it copper, or you could leave it to patina over time. But I am always a fan of black and white, so I spray painted my entire piece with a matte black spray paint. My piece needed about 3 coats of spray paint on each side of the ladder before it was fully covered. Once the spray paint was dry, I just added a clear coat to protect the final finish. I absolutely love how this ladder turned out. It looks so good, and I absolutely love the matte black color. Just a few hours is all it took to put this entire ladder together. Now I have one in each of my rooms, and I don't have to worry about swapping the ladders back and forth. I just have to decide which room I want each one to live in. I'm really happy with the final design of the ladder, and I really love how it looks in the bathroom, but I did want to see how it looked in the living room styled with some of our comfy fall blankets, so I put it in there as well. Well, it looks beautiful with the cool tones in the bathroom and with the warmer tones in the living room. So I don't know where this ladder is going to end up, but I'm definitely glad that I made it.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed that, please give the video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below. And as always, hit that bell so that you can be notified of more great DIY and renovation videos.